Now the next step for us on this riser project. We got all the little parts made. We've got the parts in-house. We took the paint off. We're ready to polish them up. Now I did just a rough polish, just a quick and dirty polish on this. When I actually did this restoration, now it's time to upgrade it. And I want to try to show how I would go about doing a part. See, the point is, with this motorcycle, you see these parts all the time you're riding them. I would like these to be perfect, and of course our new little piece that we made for the top. So we're hoping this is going to be a nice little upgrade. And it's been a good project right from the get-go. And we've been bouncing back and forth between this project and the Evil Twin project. Hope you've enjoyed both of them. Two real nice projects we've had this winter. And a really nice thing about this project, from the get-go to now, most of it has been nice and warm inside the house, as opposed to the days we've spent out here when it's really been the tundra. There's been a super cold winter. Time to get in the house. Well, once I have my cup of coffee, it's time to get these parts. And these parts we did on a previous video. Well, this is a series of videos. And for the friends that I have that follow step by step on some of these things, I know an awful lot of people would like to have the handlebars an inch or two higher on their bike, and they're intimidated by it. Well, you shouldn't be. It's a doable thing. Now, I just thought I'd mention this because we're talking about trying to share some buffing information, polishing aluminum. I just happened to, the other day, go down to Harbor Freight. I had a coupon, and these were on sale for $3. And I looked at it and I said, that can't be right. But it was. They were $3. Now, the reason I'm laughing is because usually when you buy the compounds themselves, they're usually $4 to $5 each. So that's $9. And the buffing wheels with the mandrels, these are usually $5 or $6 each. So if you happen to be at Harbor Freight and you see these on sale for they're $3, and a coupon takes 25% off. And somewhere in your polishing, and these wheels work great in an electric drill, in a drill press, and I know I've used this compound already. It's good quality compound, so that's a great deal if you're at Harbor Freight. Now, to polish this part up, the first thing, well, let me get a little bowl of soapy water here. The first thing I need to do, if I'm going to polish this part and do it with a minimum amount of work or maximum efficiency, I have to know what's on this part. Now, it could be, these are the possibilities. It can now be that we've taken the paint off. It could be raw aluminum, in which case, beautiful, we're done. But like many Japanese motorcycles, if you've ever taken a Suzuki side cover or some of the parts that are aluminum and you go to polish them, you find you can't polish it because they're coated with a clear epoxy. A clear finish, I'll call it epoxy for lack of a better word. Now, I don't know what this is, but I have to find, the first job is to see if the part is raw aluminum or has some kind of coating, some kind of iridite, some kind of who knows what. Because this part, to be honest, it looks pretty shiny, and I don't think the factory would make it that shiny and then paint it. There's probably some kind of coating on this. Now, I have to find that out. Now, a lot of times when you have a part like this and you think, wow, that's going to polish right up. By the way, this is some 2000 grit sandpaper. There's a very simple test to see if you're down to raw aluminum. It'll turn black. If things turn black, let's see if we can see that. If we see that, what that probably means is we don't have any anodizing on this part or iriditing or anything that coats that. So that means we're in pretty good shape here because this aluminum is relatively smooth. Now, the first step on this, and this will take, I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes apart. I'm just going to basically by hand, I want to get this with 2000 grit paper as smooth as possible. Now, I don't want to have that scenario that if this were a rough casting, an engine casting or something that was rough, I'd have to do a lot more sanding. That looks like I'm going to maybe 10 minutes apart here. But if you had a rough casting, this would, and by the way, this is the reason I wanted to mention this. We have many, many polishing videos. Some of them have almost 400,000 hits. So I know somebody's out there is benefiting. There's got to be some people that picked up some good information, because I've picked up good information from other people's video, and that's the whole idea of doing this. None of us are really getting that rich. Well, I'm not anyway. But anyway, maybe Luciano is. So once you see that that's turning black, you know you've gone through and you're into the aluminum. But now again, and this is the part I'm going to see, this part here, I want to have that blackness tells you're down into the aluminum. I want to have that as smooth as possible. And I can see what they did at the factory. They did probably a wire wheel or something on this, that it has little scratches. Remember, the whole idea of everything here is to get rid of the scratches. You'd like to have the part flat, and the previous videos I did on polishing, I emphasized that I did with little storyboards, flat, and then all of the scratches, say if you do the first thing with 1000 grit, then take that out with 2000 grit, take those scratches out, then with compound take out the 2000 grit. You're always putting scratches, each compound in essence scratches. Then you want to get the scratches smaller, and when they go away, you've got a polished surface. And it's the same with the compound. We want to start with a rough compound, probably with black, move on to the red rouge, and finalize it with the white. So here you can see the first part. I wanted to get out as many of the scratches as I could. I wanted to get that surface as smooth as possible. And the part that isn't sanded, I guess you can, I'm not sure you can pick it up on the video, which is the shinier of the two, but this now starts to have the look of polished aluminum. And polished aluminum looks very unique. It's not like chrome, where it's a mirror. It just has a subtle glow to it that all the old Nortons and BSAs, and they had a look. The polished aluminum was, I thought, very attractive. Now it's just one of those time-consuming things. It took me about a half an hour to get this part the way I wanted it, and that'll be ready then to hit the buffing wheel here. Got to do this one, but I don't know, because you never know until you actually look at it. But there's definitely a different glow, a different look to the polished aluminum, and whatever you want to call this, unpolished aluminum. So I'll do this one off camera and we'll be ready to buff. Now the first thing I want to do is do a little test just to see how this is going to come up. You always want to polish on the downhill side of the wheel where this part can't come and hit you. And what's good is if you can go right up to the point that you're slowing the wheel down but not putting a strain on the motor, just like a Dremel tool. Now, we just want to see if this is coming up good. What I did, I started with the red compound. I'm not sure. Yeah, we can go right. See, here's the thing. If you had a lot of scratches in this right now, if this was loaded with scratches, you use the black compound, would get out the scratches. But this, there's no, I took them all out with the sandpaper. So we're basically going to be able to do this. It's going to be time consuming. I don't really care. At the end of this job, I'll have two of these parts that look beautiful. I want to be right where I'm just slowing the speed of the wheel down, but I'm not stalling it. Let me give you an example. That's too much. Right at the point where you're almost slowing the wheel down. That's where the compound seems to cut the best. Now it just looks like this is going to be fine. Let me just wipe this down a little bit. Not sure you can see how that's coming up. And from this point on, it's just time consuming. Now in the course of doing this part, this is always, and I forgot to mention this, I waxed the wheel with a little bit of candle wax. And what I did, I tried the red that came with that $3 kit. I thought maybe this was some kind of inferior. It's fine. This is good compound. This is $5 worth of compound too. I also then at the very end of the job, I'll clean the wheel, even though what you should in essence do is have another wheel for the white, and put a final polish on it with white. But so what it is the stuff that came in the $3 kit is just as good as the stuff you pay $5 for. And I just wanted to mention another thing here, and there's all different kinds. Here's green compound, but the absolute best polishing aluminum video I've ever seen is on YouTube, and it's a gentleman that sells compound, and he demonstrates by polishing a truck gas tank. And you can just key through the polishing video so you see him. Amazing. When I watched him do it, I thought, oh yeah, that's going to come out great. And when I saw how nice it came out, I couldn't believe it. And the reality is, and here's some black compound, which we're not going to even need today. The reality is, I like to always see a video where everything is dirty and difficult, and you show all the pitfalls, but at the end you've got a piece of jewelry. Now we'll clean off the wheel. We're done with the red. A little bit of wax. The white compound will finish up the job. And boy, so far we didn't need the black at all. I don't even know if I took it out. This was just a nice piece of aluminum. Now remember that soft pad that came in a $3 kit? Right at the end when you want to put the final touch, no compound at all. That's a very soft, fuzzy pad. They also sell in Harbor Freight, and I've used them. In fact, I'll try to show one on here. They're made out of fur. When you want to put the final finish on, and this really takes out any little imperfections that are still in there. It leaves a really unbelievable shine. Now we have used the whole kit that I showed, and I thought that was pretty funny, because I know you can spend a lot more money on tools and equipment and everything, but it's just as nice if you can get top quality stuff without spending the money. Now I know not everybody has a buffing wheel or grindstone they can pop a pad on, but this is something to consider. This is about a $10 thing from any Buddy Shop supply. It's loose cut, shaped like a ball, and what you do with this, you just put it in a drill press or in a hand drill. And before we finish this video, I'm going to show all the little specialty tools that I've made. Put the drill on the highest speed possible and use ordinary silver polish. I call it silver polish, the mag wheel polish, the Meguiar's, any of them. This will do a good job. It's just that an example is the big buffer will just make the job go quicker. But this will still do the job. So let me just take a second and wipe these off. Our $12 beauties. Again, I'll thank Luciano for saving me the money. I got more money now to buy more rubbing compound, more tools, more everything, more motorcycles. I would think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, what I want to do, a couple of things before I end the video, because we're really not trying to make cute videos like like bitchin' rides or something. I'm trying to make things that really are information sharing venues. And the reason is I have learned so much from all the videos on YouTube. And I've learned from so many people that have been generous enough to share the technology that we all enjoy. But let me share something that I think you'll really enjoy. This is my special tools that I've made for this job or used. So a couple of things I think are good tips. No matter what you use to polish your car, buff your car, everything that I have, I keep in a laundry basket. That way I can take it to my friend's house when we do A-team work. And also I know I can keep inventory nice and quick. And also I keep it in the house, not outside in the garage. Now again, I try to keep everything as simple, low tech, low budget as possible. This is the least expensive drill you can buy at Harbor Freight. It's I think it's under $15 to be honest, when you have the coupon. But I wanted to show some of the other things, and basically all available at Harbor Freight. These are one of the mandrels. It's squashed now, but it goes back. And I've made a little extension on it so I can get down into places like doing that valve cover job. And by the way, a lot of these parts you can do while they're still mounted to the motorcycle. These are what I call soft pads. You don't use compound on them. You just use them the way they are. When they're new, they put a lot of dust out, so it's nice if you can do it outside. But once a part is polished and you've got it flat and level, this really helps you maintain the shine. Again, Harbor Freight. It sounds like I'm sounding like a broken record here. This is the one I wanted to share. This is the final polish, or if you're going to do jewelry or something. This doesn't take a lot of material away, and paint or aluminum, this will just put a beautiful shine on things. You will not believe how good that is. Now, I have another one, and these are the kind that this comes right off. These I put wax on and that heavy rouge for doing heavy buffing. Then you have the soft ones, again Harbor Freight. These you can put, let me show one that has compound on it, one that doesn't. This will do a heavy cut. This will do a final polish. All these little tools, every one of them, useful. These are the ones you get at the body shop. They're ball shaped. These are about $10. These are more expensive because this is a professional thing. I haven't found a way to get that at Harbor Freight yet. But anyway, every size little wheel. Anytime you can pick up a wheel, they're typically under $5. You can keep one with heavy compound, one with light compound. Today I picked up a couple more of these. These are going to be for final polishing. We got a couple more of them. Some that when they turn brown, you know they've been black. They've been against the aluminum. Now, this is one I made. I made to do a certain, I don't remember what. This is a pad. It's really a cloth pad. And I cut that in. I just put it in a drill press and did some sandpaper so I could get in to polish certain areas. Again, not everybody's going to want to do all this. If you look at, these are the little things you can buy in Harbor Freight to get in little areas, polish bolt heads, all those little carriers on your floating discs. And they do make some pointy ones. And the best thing is just get one of each. They're so cheap. Because I enjoy having the parts all polished up. And the other thing, and I've put this on some of the engine polishing videos, it's a piece of microfiber, just a strand, with compound that you would wrap around something and then use it like a shoelace. This works out real well too. So these are basically what I'm getting at is there's nothing high tech here. And you can use ordinary, any kind of polish, compound, even if in a real pinch you can use toothpaste. And of course the next step on this, we're going to try to get a dedicated day to install these. So many of my friends have been, well, just wondering. They see my motorcycles and they say, "Oh, how'd you get the handlebars on there? I've wanted to do that." Yeah. Well, up at Perkins where we hang out, there's an endless supply of people who would like to make their handlebars an inch or two higher. And I think this is a good video. This little series of videos, we've tried to share what we know. Now, before we end the video, I just wanted to mention, I know everybody has a different idea of what's pretty, what's beautiful, what's macho, what's different. My personal thing, I like polished aluminum. I like high gloss paint. Not crazy about flat black, but that's just me. If you like things flat black, we can still be friends. And I think that's one of the secrets of enjoying motorcycling. It's actually one of the secrets of enjoying life. Is a lot of people have a lot of different tastes in motorcycles and how they live and whatever. Doesn't really matter. But in the bottom, at the end of it all, we can all be friends. And this is why I wanted those parts polished. These are the original parts. And while I have these all off, I'll repolish them, put a final polish on them. But when you ride this motorcycle, you're basically looking at that all day. And I think this is going to look pretty cool. We got the stripe painted up the middle of it. Not sure, but even if we don't like it, we always have the black one. But being able to infinitely raise this up and down, well, when that's done, I think that changes the whole way you feel about riding a motorcycle. You're comfortable instead of uncomfortable. And I have never found any performance trade-off. And as much as I love my R1, I love it a lot more with the handlebars that I can go on long rides with. Same thing with the FZR. These 25-year-old plus motorcycles. The 3 or 4 years I used that for track days are over. I don't really care about it anymore. I want to be comfortable. I want to enjoy the ride. So the next day we get a dedicated day to work on it. We have a couple other little projects. We have the Evil Twin project over there in the corner, but I want to spend one dedicated day installing these risers. I know that's a video a lot of people will enjoy. Maybe you'll enjoy it too. Anyway, hope you enjoy all the videos. There's so much good information on YouTube. Take advantage of all of it. And add something to it if you can. And everybody that knows me well knows I'm very passionate about everything. Not only motorcycling, but the house I live in, my grandson, my marriage, my family, my fish in the pond, my friends. And right in there somewhere are these antique motorcycles. So again, thanks for watching.